Hello and welcome to Gouldian Junction for the August update, I guess, or July's update, depending on how you want to look at it, what I've done for July or what I've done for August. As it is the 1st of August today, it's more like what I've done in July. Not a lot has really happened so much as it is the holiday period, and here in Sweden where we live, everyone shuts down and more or less goes on vacation and enjoys the sunshine, as I'm sure a lot of people do in England as well. As you know, we've had a bit of a heat wave as well in Sweden as well, which has made it quite warm during the day, which I've really enjoyed as I'm from Australia myself. So I haven't really done any work as it's been too hot, and I've also been on vacation as well. So what I've been working on actually in the last month is this small little area. I was going to make a little make a scene area, but it kind of got away from me with the filming and stuff and what I'd done. So in the end, I've just leave it and I just put it on an update of what I've done. The plan is to have a little single engine shed. It's mainly just for maybe a steam locomotive or diesel engine, depending on what needs to be fixed that day. It's just there to make a bit of a scenic area and to create something a bit more interesting to look at as well, other than just a couple of tracks with trains going around. So I put this next to my station here, where I started building a yard about 1.5 years ago. I used to have a bit of a hill here, which I took away when I took the bottom level away, and I've just got the one level now. I did away with that, and I've just extended a little piece of baseboard here, nothing fancy. And then I just put some ballast in. So I can take the roof off this at the moment, still to be detailed on the inside and do whatever. I thought about putting like a work pit in there, but like I said, this is more like a shed for like light maintenance, not so much for heavy maintenance on an engine. So what I did is I filled this in with some plaster filler. It's still yet to be painted, and I'm still working on it, so like I said, it's still a work in process. I filled it in. I've cleaned the tracks so the trains still run. I left the inside here with a bit of some plaster just to show that, like, I wasn't so concerned, but just to show that it's a bit of a different depth, and like it's kind of like if it is a bit of a pit but not so much of a pit. And then the shed will just sit on there. Don't ask me where the shed's from or who made it. It's just a shed I had laying around in amongst a pile of buildings that I was given from my partner a long time ago. So I just used it. I decided that I would use the shed and utilize it instead of it just sitting in a box unmade. The shed came as one of them kit built ones that you got to build. I painted it. I still yet to put the windows on with the plastic. I haven't done that yet. It's just a few small detailing things left to do on it. So the plan is with the yard here, I want to just put some, like, maybe a couple of lengths of track or something like that. More like old track that hasn't been used, maybe some rails. I'm not too sure. I'm still contending on what to put in there. I made a bit of a path here, as you can see. My plan is to just put a bit of vegetation in there, like it's unkept, not looked after. A few shrubs along the fencing edge. You get the picture. So I'll be working on this over the next coming month, and I'll show you as process is done each month with the update each month. So I use just normal ballast here from Woodland Scenics. I use an actual smaller fine ballast here, more darker one. I use the brown ballast, and then I just used the grey one here, and just made a bit of a blend texture to kind of like show you a bit of a path. To be honest, it actually picks up better in camera than it actually does when I look at it, so you can really see the different contrasts of it. I'm still yet to put some gravel over there. And like I said, I'm also going to paint this a concrete colour, the base of it. I've noticed that the shed's not quite level on it at the moment, so I might need to somehow level it out a little bit more, just bend it around. I think it needs. I also made the fence as well, just following the YouTube videos online, how to make a wire fence out of wire using the veil wedding material for the actual fence, for the mesh. I'm not too sure how well the camera will actually pick up on it, but we'll see how we go. So now you can see the actual fabric, a bit more of the detailing of it with the netting that goes around it. So yeah, so as you can see, it's just a fence that goes around it. It kind of is the fence off the area. As I said, I made the fence myself using the wire, cutting up the wire, soldering it together, and then twisting 2 wires together for the actual top part. It's not 100% perfect. You might be able to see a few little dips and pieces here and there, like here where it's darker and things like that. But it's not an actual perfect looking fence. But then again, in real life, fences are damaged and fixed and replaced, and I kind of wanted to show its age on the fence other than it being like a brand new fence installed. So that's why I haven't really worried about recoloring the fence so much. Even the netting's a little bit ripped and torn because I'm trying to show that it's the old netting type fence that they use, not the new metal that's all welded together mesh. I'm trying to show the more wire appeal fencing that they had back in the late 80s and 70s and whenever else they started building them. So yeah, as you can see, it kind of adds a nice touch to it, just putting the fence around it. Kind of fences it off. Like I said, I spent a day. It probably took me a couple of hours, should I say, to actually make this whole area in this one fence. I spent one night welding it all together. While I was also at it, I also made some longer sections. So if I was to just show you, the plan is to put the longer fence along here where the yard is. I'm still working on it. I'm still actually got to make a few more sections. So my plan is where the yard is here, along here, to put a fence, just to kind of like separate it off, and also stop any trains from actually falling off the tracks, falling down. So that's about it I can say for this area. So, the next part of my update is, I'm not too sure if I mentioned last month, I finally got back around to installing one of the signals, just before the viaduct, where you can see the class 56 passing now. I finally got this up and running. I can't remember if I mentioned it last month in the update or not, but it's all working. As the train passes over, it changes to red, goes through its little sequence until it gets back to green. I think the delay between each one's 20 seconds, if I remember right. I might adjust it to 10 seconds, just because the layout is smaller than what it used to be. But I'll do that at a later stage. I just change the chip out and just adjust it. As you can see, it's gone back to yellow. It will go to double yellow, and then it will go back to green. Finally got some bit more animation back onto the layout again. So as you can see, it's gone back to double yellow. Yeah, so as my plan is for the month, I'm wanting to try to get this side of the actual layout a bit more complete now. I've got a few more small detailing things I want to put in before I move on to the next project. So the plan is, what I would really like to get done in August, my aim is to actually, I want to build a fence, a wooden fence with wire through it. I want to put the fence along the back here where the green grass is that I laid last month. Back in June, I covered the front section with grass. I'm not 100% certain if I mentioned it in the last update or not. Can't really remember what I've mentioned and what I haven't mentioned. There's been so much happening. Yeah, so my plan is I want to put like a wooden fence. If I swing it around here where I can reach a little easier. Yeah, I want to put like a wooden fence along here just to separate the railway off from the actual countryside grass area, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so that's the plan. I'll just let the trains pass for a second. Alright, yeah, so the plan is I want to put like a fence along here, maybe just somewhere in the middle. A rough fence, something that looks a bit unmaintenanced, and then I'm just going to divide it like straight up to the back scene in a couple of spots to show like indication of different people's properties, that it doesn't belong to the commune or the council, it belongs to private people, and it backs onto the railway. I might end up putting some cows or something in one yard and maybe some sheep or something to show that it's a bit more like farmland. So that's the plan. So I think I'm probably going to leave it there for the update. That's next month, like I said. Eventually I want to put the containering mask along this whole section. Eventually I want to do the whole layout, but as I've mentioned, I'm probably going to leave this layout in storage and in my house while we plan to move overseas and do other things. So I'm not too sure if I want to invest too much money into the actual layout as well. So it's always going to be, for my purpose of this layout, is more going to be a holiday layout that I can come and work on during the holiday while I'm visiting Sweden. So the final thing for July, beginning August update type thing, I'm working on a set of terrace houses for the corner over here. I decided that I would put some houses in this corner. I'm scratch building the houses myself. I've kind of live in a terrace house myself, so I'm actually going to replica the house that we live in, kinda, and to a certain degree, and that's what I'm going to go off and put that in the corner. Just add a bit of personal touch to the layout. As I said, I've started building this house. I'm in the middle of making it. It's actually, as anyone knows with scratch building, it can take some time to get it right and to build it. So this project I'm working on is kind of the first real scratch built house that I'm building, and I want to feature it in this corner over here, which to me it seemed like a perfect idea. Especially I think it will make some nice running shots with trains running by and stuff. So the plan is that I'm going to work on this house over the next coming months. So my project this month will probably be working on this house, building this little fence along the back, the plan is, and doing the shed, which I'm working on. So I've got 3 little scenic projects on the go, and I swap between all of them depending on which one I'm working on and which one I want to work on. Like I say, some of them are, sometimes we just need a change of scenic to keep us entertained more than anything as well. And yeah, I guess a lot of you probably relate to that. I'm gonna leave it there, otherwise I'm gonna keep rumbling on with talking. I think I'll leave it there for the update. I want to say thanks to all subscribers for hanging in there and watching when I release my videos. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. I also trying to hit that 200 mark. I'm only a few off. I seem to get some new subscribers and then I lose a few each month, so please be patient. I will eventually upload, and I try to upload at least once a month. So I want to say a big thanks, and thanks for watching, I guess. Bye for now. Hope you weren't recording that. They all fell off the trap.